seems that this ongoing battle, this race row, could be, in fact, one of the biggest problems to face our brand new king, His Majesty King Charles III. But as ever, what is the problem? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London, and as ever, lovely to see you. Behind me is Buckingham Palace, of course, historical Buckingham Palace, the home of so much royal history. But seemingly in the 21st century, King Charles is creating his own royal history, some say for the very wrong reasons. What's interesting to note, really, when you think about it, is that just a couple of days ago, the palace was embroiled in this particular race row regarding this woman, Marlene Headley. Now, what's interesting with Marlene, who's decided to appropriate a brand new, more African, Nigerian, whichever you want to call it, sounding name, she pays herself £65,000 a year as the head of a charity, plus, of course, numerous expenses. When you check her out, though, on Companies House, it appears that those expenses have yet to be filed. I'll leave that one to hang there. But as we now know, she got herself embroiled in a massive race row with one of the most esteemed ladies that has been in the royal court for over 60 years. That's right, Lady Susan Hussey. But now as this particular story develops, there's a lot of backlash. And now the further backlash is this. According to a Buckingham Palace spokesman, they've invited Marlene Headley to meet the King and Queen consort, Camilla and King Charles, in person. Now, one can imagine how this has gone down with the British public, because obviously they've seen a particular or different side to this event. Let me tell you the idea behind Buckingham Palace's theory on inviting Marlene back to the palace. This is because there are rumours circulating around that, according to them, she was recording this particular conversation. And when you look at it, particularly on social media, everything is in verbatim. How on earth they remembered such an extensive conversation is beyond many people. But moving forward, they would like to see, or hear in fact, if indeed she does have a recording of this particular conversation. Now, the bigger problem is this. The general British public feel that King Charles and Camilla are being too liberal, too woke, too caving in, cancel culture, whatever you wish to call it. They don't believe that this particular individual should be given a second chance. Given the fact that she decided to detail this conversation on social media and then popping up on numerous TV and radio stations, literally 24 hours afterwards, apparently describing her hurt and humiliation. What about the hurt and humiliation for Lady Susan Hussey? Cast aside, chucked out after 60 years of devoted loyal service. And as we told you recently, a lady that, according to a very good source, Camilla, the Queen Consort, would very much like still to be by her side for the forthcoming coronation next year. For now, if they go ahead with this meeting, it's going to be interesting to see if it becomes a public meeting, if there's a publicity picture leaked out, of which there would have to be. And then again, will Marlene be jumping to the media's defence and of course jumping on any breakfast TV show that will simply book her or indeed pay her to detail that meeting? If of course Buckingham Palace feel that this is the way forward, and perhaps they do, then again this could be a huge PR gaffe. The bigger problem that Buckingham Palace had was that they didn't check the people coming in to the palace for that event that day. You only would have had to look down Marlene's social media posts to see that she was an anti-royalist. She'd posted some incredibly negative things against the British monarchy. But also, she'd actually met Prince Charles over 20 years ago, in fact receiving money from his Prince's Trust for a then other project. So you can see, whichever way you look at it, this form, particularly with Marlene. Moving forward, if they go ahead with this would result in possibly a bigger backlash than the other ongoing battle over in California. As ever, this is an unfolding story, and when I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean, Buckingham Palace, London.